When the sun rays fade, a lingering frost will weep and freeze the land. Death shall make way for Thor, and a new star shall shine in the half-light. A chilly breeze danced through the flame-colored leaves, bringing them along their airborne path. The pelts of prey bristled as the wind passed while they prepared their food stores. Winter was arriving early this year. Along a wooded coast lay an ebony-colored cavern. The lapping waves of the sea split into an arch, revealing a large, watery passage. The breeze twirled around the black teeth along the roof and floor of the passage, creating a deep hum throughout the dark cavern. Mother, I'm not a kid anymore. You're still my kid, Thorpal. I want you to look presentable for your warrior ceremony, stated Thorpal's mother, Rayshine, as she pulled down a stubborn tuft on Thorpal's head. I think Featherpaw needs more help with that, Thorpal said as she swiped her tail over her lazy friend's muzzle. Hey, this is just what my fur looks like. I can't help it, Featherpaw exclaimed. Thorpal rolled her eyes. Yeah, right. They were interrupted as a deep yowl echoed from the middle of camp. Go now, said Rayshine. Froststar is calling. Thorpal and Featherpaw made their way towards the center of camp. She glanced around as cats emerged from their dens and left their tasks to gather around the Sharkstone, where the leader of Cavern Clan, Froststar, stood proudly at the peak. Her friend reached the base of the Sharkstone swiftly, his tail held high. Thorpal, however, acted the opposite. She stepped lightly, her tail bristling as her face became warm despite the damp cavern air. She was reminded of her apprentice ceremony. Though seemingly far back in time now, the eyes of her clanmates on her gave her the same uneasy feeling now as it did back then. Although there was something else, like a new pair of eyes, many, many more eyes. Strange, looming eyes scanning every hair on Thorpal's white coat. She gulped as she finally reached the Sharkstone and warily sat down next to Featherpaw. Froststar scanned his clan with his icy blue eyes before they gazed towards the students below the stone. Cavern Clan, Froststar started. Today I have called upon you to witness the advancement of these young cats' lives, who have trained tirelessly under Windheart and Bluesky to become formidable members of this clan. So, before StarClan I begin. Featherpaw, Thorpal, do you vow to serve and protect your clan, even at the cost of your life? Yes! Featherpaw blurted out abruptly, before flattening his ears in embarrassment. I do, he said, more quietly now. I do, Thorpal echoed. Then I call upon Silverpelt for approval. Allow your song to be carried by the wind. Do you agree with these warriors? Thorpal's vision blackened, and a pressure of silence rang in her ears. A swift wind wove around her like a cat's sulky pelt. She felt her fur rising despite herself, and a piercing cold touched the tip of her nose. The cold slowly engulfed her body, making sure to reach the deepest parts of her bones. Thorpal held her breath as the cold subsided, melting into her fur like snowflakes. A sound made itself known. An ominous hum danced around Thorpal's head along with the graceful thumps of an animal walking along the ground around Thorpal, circling her. The song became louder as her fur bristled once more, before her vision was returned in an instant and the song had ceased. So, by the will of Silverpelt, I name you Featherbreeze and Thorfrost, warriors of Cavern Clan. Hurrahs erupted from Thorfrost's clanmates, all calling the new warriors names and congratulating them. Thorfrost got up from her seat under the shark stone and made her way to her friends who were departing from the billowing crowd. "Wow, Thorfrost, huh? That's an awesome name," said Smoothstone as she and Bouldertooth reached Thorfrost. "It's about time you became a warrior. I was getting bored with Bouldertooth." "Hey!" Bouldertooth nudged Smoothstone as she laughed. "Yeah, being apprentice felt like a whole lifetime of work," Thorfrost replied with a sigh. A voice behind Thorfrost interrupted their conversation, and she turned around to see her mother and father standing before her. She smiled as her father spoke. "We're so proud of you," said Froststar as Rayshine licked Thorfrost's cheek lovingly. They noticed Blue Sky approaching. With a nod towards Thorfrost, Froststar and Rayshine left after a brief greeting to Blue Sky. Thorfrost purred at her former teacher as the beautiful Cavern Clan deputy sat down in front of her. "Well done," said Blue Sky with a nod. "I wouldn't be here without you," replied Thorfrost with a dip of her muzzle. Blue Sky tilted her head and shut her blue eyes with a friendly smile. "Your father said you'd make a very good deputy, you know," she stated. Thorfrost tilted her head in confusion. "You're very liked among the clan, and they trust you a lot." "Oh, I don't know," Thorfrost mumbled awkwardly. Blue Sky shook her head. "It's not for everyone. Don't push yourself too hard to prove yourself, Thorfrost. You'll always have the help of your clanmates," she smiled. "Now go meet with Featherbreeze. He's waiting to start the silent vigil with you." Thorfrost gasped. "Oh yeah, I almost forgot." "Good night, Thorfrost," said Blue Sky as she stood up and padded to another part of the camp. Thorfrost began to pad towards the toothy opening of the cave where silent vigils are held. This rocky arch was named the Wind Chimes, as it is believed that StarClan uses these sharp stones to weave a song in the wind for clan cats to hear. Many believe one can hear omens and prophecies in these songs, though Thorfrost had never heard such things. She sat down next to Featherbreeze with a nod and took a deep breath. She could barely keep her whiskers from twitching in excitement as a new chapter of her life was now beginning.